Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have a fun and possibly insidious game of Name That Holder. For those of you who have never played this game before, you get to take a look at these different holders and decide who they be. Who made these holders? Alright, so I've got 6 different holders here, some of which are going to be easy peasy, and one of the things that you're going to notice right away, if I'm going to give you a hint, what is the hint I'm going to give you? There are no NGC holders in this group. That is the hint. Top to bottom, they're all kind of different. I don't have the bottoms flush on these, but I'm sure that some of you are already looking at those middle two and saying, I know exactly what, well, one of them is. You can actually see a coin through this one of these middle guys here. Also, here's a clue. You can actually see a serial number on the bottom of this one. That should help you understand what you're looking at here. So we're going to go ahead and go through these a little bit. Take your time, pause the video, take a look and see which is which. Let me just zoom out a little bit for you on these. Maybe that'll help you, maybe it won't. All right. So our end caps here are the so-called easy two, right? I got a PCGS over here, and I've got a PCGS over here, but they're kind of fun. Let me show you which ones we've got here. We're going to go one at a time as I do really fancy camera work with a rubber band in my hand. So this first one is a not a doily. This is a throwback to the doily, right? So this is actually a new holder, and it says Gen 2.0. But it's a throwback to Gen 2.0 because at the time they did not have a Gen 2.0. Really fun ADS Morgan in a PCGS MS65. The coin itself is fantastic. You can always tell the newer PCGS, they do have some serial number action down here on the bottom of that slab, and kind of fun just the way they made it look like an old printing style, although it's not. So that one's fun. So it's kind of tricked you a little bit with the PCGS. Okay, next up is the big bad voodoo daddy. This one is something that I guarantee you most of you have never seen before. This is a U.S. Rare Coin Certification and Trading Company Inc. It's got the cert number, date denomination, and the grade. It's a big old thing, making the PCGS slab look kind of small there. And for those of you who collect holders, some of you are probably familiar with these. One thing that's kind of interesting about this one is that this is at least a generation 2.0 for them, which is to say their earlier ones actually said instead of mint state, they had a U for uncirculated. And then also on the back, they had a very simple little trading thing here. And now this one, look at the disclaimer on the back of this. The disclaimer is like 3 times as long. For a fee, the owner of this coin is entitled to all the liquidation benefits offered by the company. Grading is an art and not a science, and the coin may be graded differently at other independent grading services. The opinion as to the grade shall in no way be treated as an opinion as to value. The company may in no way be deemed liable under any guarantee or warranty expressed or implied. The company may not be liable for any consequential damages. Nothing like a guarantee that gets the company completely out of hot water, right? So these, no doubt, these holders trade for huge premiums in the marketplace. The only difficulty on this one is, you know, the coin itself is already close to $1,000 type coin. So if I had a Walking Liberty half like the picture I showed you, undoubtedly you could get a lot more for it than just the holder. So I got to do some more research on this to figure out what it may be worth. Some of you may know and may be able to tell me. One of the things I like about it is it clearly came out in the mid 80s, right after PCGS. You can tell the typeset that they're using here, the dot printer, that is indicative of earlier PCGS slabs. All right, next up we have a Soapbox, which you guys probably all saw This is the old Annex holder. This is a lovely coin, by the way. The 64. I may just go ahead and send it in for crossover just for the heck of it, because I like making crossover videos for you guys. But what's next is the one that was next to it is the one that's going to be, it's a holder I don't think I've shown to you before. I love these little Annex holders, and this next company, I actually love these holders. This company is called AccuGrade, ACG or AccuGrade. We used to joke and call them Ask You Grade, like you would just send them in money. Since 1984, they say, and I actually really love the holders. The only problem is, of course, they're really easy to open. Of course, for me, you know, that might not be such a bad thing. But what's cool about this coin is a couple things. First of all, I almost never see any New Orleans mint coins on gold, on $10 gold pieces, 030. It's interesting, they called it an MS60. It's basically an UNC coin that has probably been wiped. You can see how the luster is just kind of dead there. But, you know, it's, you know, if you ascribe to the net grading theorem, which both PCGS and NGC do at times, and at other times they'll say it's cleaned, and other times they'll just knock a 63 down to 60. Yeah. Anyway, I think that you could call it an MS60, or you could call it an UNC details cleaned. Either way, it's a pretty cool holder. Next up, we got these last two here, and actually, you know, I showed you the end cap is PCGS, but actually we're going to talk about this holder too, because there's something about it that is, I think, rather unusual. This is our good friends over at ICG. We used to joke that it stood for I can't grade, but of course, actually, I've seen a number of ICG coins that have done fairly well. I'll actually probably cross this over to PCGS because this one's graded MS63, and I think that it's a lovely coin. I think it's at least a 63. The fields are fantastic, and I've had some success crossing these over into PCGS holders, and those are great fields with a lot of minor contact marks on the cheek. And I've shown you some of the ICG coins in the past. These are two new holders, and this last holder from PCGS is actually a mystery wrapped in an enigma. Is that what this is? Okay, so I want you to take a look at it, and we're going to talk a little bit about the different aspects of PCGS holders, and if I'm missing something, y'all can tell me. So I was trying to figure out which generation this is. So, of course, I went over to our good friends at PCGS, and I looked up their website and their museum, right? And so one of the things that you'll notice, I was trying to figure out which one it is. I was looking, it's got the little PCGS at the top. So as you filter through these guys here, you can see that the PCGS is gone in 1998. It's now just right in front of the grade. So it's got to be before that, right? So I go back and I look and I'm like, okay, now but this is the green holder. So I'm looking for one of the blue holders, right? Well, it's not this. Okay, so one of the things I'm looking at is it looks like this holder too, but once again, this is a green, this is definitely a blue label and not a green label. So I'm looking at the back and trying to figure it out, and of course you'll see there's just this really fine here, right at the bottom, PCGS copying prohibited. That always stops counterfeiting when you put laws up. And you'll notice this 1990 to 93 Gen 3 doesn't have that. And then I go to the Gen 3.1, you know, and it's hard to see on the screen here, but it does have it there. So I'm looking at this as definitely a Gen 3.1, but it's a blue label, and it's not a green label, and I don't see this on their website. So I'm calling this a Generation 3.2. I'm calling this something that they don't have on their website. And by the way, the coin is stinking phenomenal. I mean, San Diego's don't jump in price from one grade to the next, really. This is they call this a 65. And I have a new purchase video where I'll talk about it a little bit more and look at it a little bit closer. San Diego has one of my favorite looks to it. The way the luster flows. But we'll talk more about that in a new purchases video. Right now, the holder video, I have all kinds of interesting things here for you, and I'm looking forward to, I know some of you collect these, and I'm looking forward to you educating me on especially these two here, if you've seen them or not, and what information you may have for me. All right, guys, I'm Ben the Coin Geek. Thanks so much for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.